welcome. My name is Amanda and this is my channel, Her Pacific Northwest Washington Life, and today I wanted to share with you all the books that I picked up in the month of June. So I picked up one book from Audible and three books from Kindle, although one of the books from the Kindle store was an 8-book series, so I guess I technically picked up 10, 11 books total this month. So yeah, so much for getting my TBR down again, but I'm excited for a lot of these books and I think they'll be good reads. So the first book that I picked up on Audible was Spellslinger by Sebastian de Castell. I already own this on Kindle, but I was doing a reread of this with my friend Eric over at the channel Break Even Books, and I wanted to listen to it on audiobook this time so that I could make sure that I had the pronunciation down right, because it is it's a fantasy world but with made up names and things like that, so I just wanted to make sure that I was actually getting the pronunciation down. I did actually return this audiobook because I didn't like the narration style at all, so if you're interested in these books, I probably wouldn't recommend listening to them on Audible. The narrator does some very interesting voices for the women, and he also puts like a country twang to a couple of the characters that I just didn't feel like fit the story very well, so I didn't really enjoy listening to it on audiobook. But basically, this is a series. Spellslinger is the first book in the series, called Spellslinger, I believe, about a young boy. He is 15 when we first meet him, named Kellen, who is participating in the mage's trial so that he can get his mage name. But his magic has slowly been going away, and he hasn't yet snapped his bands, which each child in this culture is tattooed with different metals and different bands, and as they access power, they snap the bands and they're able to draw upon that power even more. So Kellen hasn't snapped his bands and he's kind of running out of time. You have to pass the mage's trial by your 16th birthday, otherwise you become what's known as a Shatep, which is basically the servants of the Jantep, which are the kind of like royalty high up families and things like that. So he's very worried about being turned into Shatep, and there's this lady who comes into town named Ferris Parfax, who teaches him that maybe magic is a con game and you don't need it to get by in the world. So lots of events and things happen, lots of shenanigans and things being brought to light that were buried deep down. So a good first book. I don't know what the rest of the series is like, but I am really looking forward to continuing on with this. Just it'll be in a physical sense, reading with my eyes and not listening with my ears, because the audiobook narration was not very good. So the first Kindle book I picked up was The First Time I Said Goodbye by Claire Allen, and I think the main thing that made me want to pick this book up is because it's set in Ireland, so I thought it would be a good pick for the Irish Readathon that happens every March. But this one takes place, we kind of follow two different timelines. So the kind of tagline is, would you hold on tighter if you knew you were saying goodbye forever? So in 1959, factory girl Stella Haggerty finds herself falling unexpectedly for the charms of a handsome U.S. Marine based in Derry. Caught up in a whirlwind of romance, Stella finds herself planning a new life in America with her beloved Ray. But when tragedy steps in, both their lives are thrown into turmoil, and they come to realize they may have said their first and last goodbye. And then in 2010, Annabelle Jackson, reeling from the loss of her father, agrees to accompany her mother, Stella, back to Ireland to meet her family for the first time. In Derry, they both start to realize that sometimes you have to say goodbye to what you thought you always wanted in order to find what you have needed all along. So it sounds like this takes place in Northern Ireland. which will be interesting. I have been to Derry or Londonderry. I was there in 2014 with one of my girlfriends for the first time, and it was a beautiful city. I think there's still a little bit of tension in the city, though, between the Catholics and the Protestants. And knowing that beforehand, I did feel just slightly uncomfortable when I was there. But also, I thought I had strep throat because I got hit really hard with jet lag, and I thought I was sick, but my body was just tired from moving from place to place to place. But it'll be nice to be back in that kind of setting that I know a little bit, and just kind of experience the story from a place that I kind of know. So the next book I have is Stolen Songbird, which is the first book in the Malediction trilogy by Danielle Jensen. And this one says, for 5 centuries, a witch's curse has bound the trolls to their city beneath a mountain. When Cecily de Troyes is kidnapped and taken beneath a mountain, she realizes that the trolls are relying on her to break a curse. She has only one thing on her mind, escape, but the trolls are clever, fast, and inhumanely strong. She will have to bide her time. But the more time she spends with the trolls, the more she understands their plight. There is a rebellion brewing, and she just might be the one the trolls were looking for. I've been looking at this book for a while now, and I'm pretty sure all these books are, except for Spellslinger, I saw come through on like the daily deals for BookBub, or the BookBub emails you get. So I decided that since it was such a good price, I think this one was free, that I would pick it up and see if I liked it and want to continue with the trilogy. And the last book I have, or the last book series I bought, it was all in one purchase. I think it was 99 cents for all 8 of these. But the series itself is called Fantasy and Fairy Tales by M. Lynn. And this is different fantasy or fairy tale retellings. So I'm not entirely sure which one this synopsis on Goodreads is saying, but I think it might be a couple of them. But it says, a curse, a hidden identity, a dangerous love. 10-year-old Percinet Basile was forced to flee the palace of Gaul for her life. Now at 18, she must find a way to return in order to obey a curse on her family line. The prince won't know who she is, not anymore, but she knows him and what he will do if he discovers her true name. Made to fight for her life to earn her place, she vows to find a way to break the curse, no matter the cost. To the death. The words describing the tournament turn Prince Alexandre Duran's blood to ice. The last warrior standing will win a spot at his side. As he's thrust onto the throne, forbidden magic, dangerous betrayals, and a complicated love could tear his reign apart. When the secrets begin to unravel, will Alex stay true to his laws and traditions of Gaul, or will he give it all up for a woman who deceived him? Then there's a bold part that says, escape with Rapunzel, Cinderella, Robin Hood, and Sleeping Beauty into stories reviewers call riveting and heartbreaking. So the set includes Golden Curse, Golden Chains, Golden Crown, Glass Kingdom, Glass Princess, Noble Thief, Curse Beauty, and I believe the novella is Edmund, but I'm not 100% sure. So I thought that would be interesting. I feel like, well, I know of a lot more fairy tale retellings that are like Beauty and the Beast, and I guess Cinderella is kind of one that's done a lot as well, but I feel like you don't get a lot of like Robin Hood or Rapunzel or things like that. So I thought it would be interesting to have kind of fairy tale retellings from different known fairy tales point of views. So those are the technically 10 books that I picked up this month. One was a reread and the other go straight to my TBR that I'm excited to get to eventually. So I would love to know if you've read any of these books, and if you have, what your thoughts were on them. And if you would also like to pick them up, I'd be interested to know that as well, and why they maybe sparked your attention. So please do let me know down in the comments below, and I will chat with you there until my next video. Bye!